Hello everybody, back again with another video. Hope you're doing well. Hope your Thursday goes well, and I hope this week goes good for you as well. On my end of the spectrum, I'm doing well. I did a delivery yesterday, but I didn't even get back home till like one. What is it, like 1:15 or 1:30 last night? So um, I'm a little bit tired, but that's all right. Um, I had a real far delivery yesterday, and this is water here. I'd be drinking some water, trying to drink more water than I already do. But yeah, I had like a real far delivery, and so I wasn't walking into my apartment till about 1:30 last night. So I didn't fall asleep till like after 2 something. So kind of tired, and then I have to go to work this morning as well. Um, I did put in a 2 week notice at my current job because I am getting another job, and this job is gonna have me doing over the road trucking, which is all 48 states. My plan is to live in the truck, get rid of rent, and live in the truck. That's what I'm gonna do for a little while. You know, see how I like it, and that's the plan on my end. I'm trying to get out of paying rent, paying a light bill, paying utilities, just all these things that take up so much money. I'm trying to get rid of those, you know, and just, you know, that way you can actually, that way I can actually save more, pretty much. Um, so yeah, that's my plan. That's what I'm doing on my end. Half of my stuff is like already packed up anyway. That's the funny part. I just got a little more to do, but they actually had me doing a pretty far delivery today too, and I'll probably be back probably tomorrow or something like that. But yeah, they've been pretty busy lately, but it's time for me to move on and start living out of the truck because it's just it's better. It's better than paying rent to me. Um, but we'll see. Anyway, let's talk about home ownership. Let's talk about home ownership. So, we're going to talk about some of the pros and some of the cons of home ownership. Okay, so some one pro about well, let me kind of talk about home ownership. Home ownership is kind of one of the big staples of the American dream. Now, some people say the American dream is going away. I choose to say the American dream is harder to obtain, but you know, it's still doable, but it's just quite a bit more difficult than it used to be. You need more money, and wages haven't really kept up with inflation, which makes it a lot more difficult to buy a home, you know, and everything. So, um, one of the big pros about home ownership is that when you get a mortgage for a home, you get a fixed payment that doesn't go up every year like rent does. Rent goes up every year, and when you buy a home, you don't have um, that payment that's going to just keep going up forever. And then, of course, there's an end date, so eventually you will own the home outright. If you don't buy it cash, of course, you'll own the home outright once you're done paying that fixed rate mortgage, and that's good. That's like something to look forward to when you're buying a home. When you're buying a home, you think about the fact that, okay, I'll have a place to live that's completely paid off. I mean, you'll still have other bills like property taxes and everything, but you won't have that mortgage, that monthly payment for a place to stay once you pay it off. Apartment, you're going to have it forever. Literally forever, as long as you're staying there, because you'll never own an apartment unless you buy a multi-family housing unit or something. I would like to do that one day. Buy a buy like a multi-family place. Um, that is one of my goals. Will I ever achieve it? I don't know. I do believe I will though, because it's important, you know. Um, Real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth, and so that is a um, a goal to buy some sort of unit that I can rent out to somebody. Instead of me paying rent, I can buy a unit and rent out to other people. You see, and that's how a lot of people build wealth, build equity. They have like a rental property or two, and they just, you know, get that rental income and cash flow. Um, Obviously, I'm gonna do more research on that, but that is one of the big things about home ownership. You can rent it out. You can also rent out rooms in your home. Like if let's say you have a spare bedroom, you want to rent it out to somebody, you know, 400 or 500 a month, or is that too much? Let's say $300 to $400 a month. You have a spare bedroom, you rent it out to somebody, and that right there is extra income for you. You know, I mean, there's just ways to make money through real estate, like many different ways. Um, they also have like real estate investment trust too, REITs, REIT. There's that. There's fix and flips. Just all types of things you can do in real estate. Yep. So yeah, another pros, you like I say, you're building equity. You have equity. It can be seen as an investment. You know, an investment property. That's a property that you are renting out. Another thing about home ownership is that you can make modifications in the home. You can drill into the walls. You can paint the walls if you wanted to. You can change out the blinds, change out the flooring, just anything. Remodel the kitchen. I know a lot of people do that. They get the kitchen and stuff remodeled, bathroom remodeled. I mean, you can do those things. Now, in an apartment, they sure not gonna let you do a whole like kitchen remodel or a like a bathroom remodel. Now you can buy a unit that's already been remodeled by the apartment complex, but they're not gonna let you put in some new, you know, new this or new that. You know, they're not gonna let you do that. Um, let's see. I think that's about it. That's all I wrote down as far as the pros. I'm sure there's more pros to home ownership, but I think that's all I wrote down in the pros section of for buying a home. I think buying a home is better than an apartment. Um, you know what I heard from some people who were into like real estate? They say you can always rent the place that you live at if you have investment properties that are bringing in like cash flow. I've heard people say that. I'm not really sure what to think about that. I would have to like do more research, but I've heard people say that before. They say rent where you own and then own investment properties. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about though, but I've heard people say that. So, all right, cons of home ownership, and I actually have this. This is one of those videos where I have to kind of have my talking points written down on a piece of paper so I can kind of keep my train of thought together. First con is that any sort of maintenance is going to cost you money. So getting the grass cut, that's going to cost you money. You know, um, any type of maintenance thing. If something breaks, it's going to cost you money as well. Dishwasher breaks, it's going to cost you money. Thousands of dollars to fix or replace, really, because most people nowadays, they just replace it with a new one. Do people get their dishwashers fixed? I don't know. Do people get? I'm sure people do, but a lot of people, they just swap them out, put in a new one. Fridge breaks, put in a new fridge. That's gonna cost you money. All that's gonna cost you money. Remodeling, it will cost you money. Just anything, new roof, that'll cost you money. A roof is very expensive from what I've seen. Getting a new roof put on. I think like if you have like homeowners insurance and like a hurricane hits or something like that, I'm sure the insurance company would cover all that, right? I mean, isn't that what they're there for? But I'm just saying, if there's no hurricane or nothing and the roof just is old and it starts leaking, I'm sure you'd have to pay out of pocket for that, because that's kind of like a routine maintenance thing, you know. Um, it's just other things too, if you want to fix something, if you want to get the walls painted professionally, all that's it's gonna cost you money. So that's money out of your pocket. In an apartment, they don't let you do some of these things. Like they won't even let you paint the walls or you know put in new light fixtures or anything. Now you can do that in a home, but keep in mind it's going to cost you, and that's why that's in the con section. Everything is going to cost you in a home. You don't have that, you know, the landlord there to do it for you. Another con is that there's property taxes. Yes, property taxes. You don't have any property taxes when you're renting. But if you own property, you're going to have to pay taxes on it every year. And that's of course in the con section, because that's money you're paying out, just for owning a property. Now, property taxes are very controversial to some people. They say, well, if you own land, why do you have to pay taxes on land that you own? Does that, in theory, what does that mean? You don't really own the land if you're paying taxes on it every year. So if you skip taxes, wouldn't they come and take the land? That's just something to think about. And I've heard people say that before. So that's why property taxes are like controversial and everything. But yeah, you have to pay them. You're going to have to pay those property taxes if you own land. So that's just how it is. Another con home ownership is that it's harder to move. Now, in apartment, all you have to do is give the landlord or apartment management group or the leasing office, as they say, a 60-day notice that you're leaving and pay whatever fees they charge you. But you're still, no matter what, going to be leaving in 60 days. When you own a home, somebody has to buy that property from you, because since you own it, the only way to get out of it Is it is somebody buying it from you? Now, there's other ways to get out of it, but those aren't gonna really be good ways. I mean, but the best way is to sell it to somebody, pretty much. But if we're in an economic downturn or some sort of um, issue with the housing market, it can take several months, even over a year or so, or more, to sell that property. So here you are holding on to a property, having to make the mortgage payments on a property that you don't want. You're actually trying to move, but you can't move because nobody wants to buy. Or you can always, the other way would be to sell it to like one of those places that buys houses in any condition. Like if you just want to get rid of the property fast and you're willing to take a huge loss, you can sell it to one of those places that says, hey, we buy any house in any condition. And how do those places make money though? I have to research that. I was thinking, like, how do those places make money? Do they flip the houses? Do they just turn them into like investment properties? Or to me, it seems like it would be easier if they just flip the houses. They get the house on a deeply discounted rate because the person like really wants to sell, real fast. So they sell it to that place at a huge discount. I feel like all they do is put it back on the market at market value and they profit. Obviously they'll be holding on to um that home for the time being until it sells. Whether it takes a while or not, but I would have to see. But yeah, that would be the only real other way. So you sell it to them. But otherwise, if you want market value, sometimes if there's a housing crisis, or not crisis, but the housing market is in a downturn, it would be like harder to sell. So that's a con, home ownership. Um, I still want to own a home, even though there's pros and cons. But I just thought I'd make a video going over like just the different pros and cons that come with like owning a home. I think I think it is important to own some sort of property in your lifetime, whether it's a condo, townhome, single family home, multifamily home, apartment units. Own some sort of real estate. You want to own some sort of real estate. You don't want to sit here and be like renting forever. That's just not, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Rent is always going to go up. You're always going to have to answer to a landlord, listen to a landlord's rules. Now, I know people that say they own homes. If you live in an HOA, Homeowners Association, you still got to listen to their rules. But if you don't have a Homeowners Association, then you're a little bit more like free to do what you want to do with your home. If you want to paint it, like I've heard like some homeowners associations, they don't even let you like paint the house a certain color. You have to keep the grass cut. You know, you can't have certain things outside of your home. Like I know in some places with homeowners associations, they're not gonna let you park like a semi truck in the driveway. Um, it's just all type of different rules, and of course, me being a truck driver, I think about that. But I just saw that it was something on the news where the homeowners association was trying to get all the semi trucks put out of the neighborhood, because it was like a place that was near a industrial area, and I guess the you know people that took their trucks home would just park them like at their home. So yeah. Um, yeah. So that's about it. That's home ownership. I really appreciate you all watching this video. Um, just want to kind of list out some of the pros and cons, but I'm gonna wrap this video up. We're at the 20-minute mark. I do have to go to work right after this too. So I'm glad you enjoyed this video. I thank you for watching. I thank you for sticking to the end. Um, Tomorrow, if I upload something, it's gonna definitely be from my truck because I'm definitely gonna be coming home late again tomorrow. So yeah. But anyway, I really thank you all for watching and hope you all enjoy your day.